Тарзан, ко мне! Что это? Тихо, тихо, Тарзан. Тарзан, тихо, Тарзан.
Photos with disturbing backstories.
Hello, my friend. I'm about to tell you something incredible, so make sure you're listening. So Michael Rockefeller was traveling through a river with an anthropologist in 1961 when the motor of the boat broke down. After 24 hours of them stuck on the boat, Michael decided to jump into the water and swim to shore. And that was the last time anyone ever saw Michael Rockefeller. The anthropologist on the boat was fortunately later rescued. And so the theory was that the Asmat tribe, who were known to be cannibalistic, who lived on those shores, consumed Michael. At least that's what we thought. But here's the incredible part. 9 years later, National Geographic was filming the same tribe, but from far away. They were watching the tribe row their boats. Now here's the footage of the tribe. Did you manage to see it? Let me show you again. There was what appears to be a European man rowing alongside those tribesmen. This is the only footage that exists, the only piece of evidence showing a white man amongst these tribesmen. Unfortunately, the footage is too grainy to be 100% certain. But my guess is Michael Rockefeller never passed away in 1961.
I found some really weird medical treatments used throughout history that you guys might enjoy. By the way, this guy's trying to make himself taller. One, this is a female pelvic massager from the 1800s and it was used to cure female hysteria. Doctors used this machine on hysterical women in office until they reached hysterical paroxysm. 2, eating corpses as medicine. From ancient Rome to 16th century Europe, people would use human flesh, bones, blood, and fat to cure certain ailments. This included making mummy powder from ground up mummies. 3, Wiener electroshock therapy, because back then it was thought that men couldn't get it up because they were weak. 4, smoking cigarettes in the 1800s to cure asthma and bronchitis. Not recommended for children under 6. 5, Kellogg's cornflakes was invented because Mr. Kellogg thought it would help people from wanting to play with their own fun parts. 6, tapeworm diet, exactly what it sounds like. During the Victorian era, people would eat tapeworm eggs in hopes that the tapeworms would grow and eat all the food in their stomach so that they could keep eating forever and not gain weight. 7, sitting inside of a rotting whale carcass for 30 hours was said to relieve joint pain for up to a year. I mean, what the fuck? 8, animal poop was used as topical medication for almost everything in ancient Egypt. They also made paste out of dead mice and used them for toothaches. And 9, tobacco smoke enemas were used to resuscitate patients who were dying of cholera.
Rabbit holes you wish you didn't get into. There's this thing that our government created called the GESARA Act. It stands for the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act. It's based on a theory that debt is the #1 inhibiting factor for economic growth, and would supposedly be passed if US debt levels became too high to sustain. The idea with this is to create a new financial system. Thus, if passed, would eliminate and forgive all Americans' debt. It would abolish income tax. It would also eliminate the Federal Reserve System. The money that you have in the bank is safe, but it transfers to the new precious metal-backed currency that they would have. And they would also be pushing for universal basic income.
That was a bad idea! Get on the boat! Ryder! Oh, I touched it! Get on the boat! Oh, dude, that's not a basking shark, dude. What?
This girl had something stuck in her nose, and when doctors took a closer look, you won't believe what they found. Her name is Lucia, and she always had a nose itch ever since she was a little girl. Whenever Lucia would go to class, she would frequently blow her nose or pick it into a napkin. Because of this, all the other girls would make fun of her and she would often cry in class. Soon, her parents started to notice and they started to get very worried for Lucia. At first, they didn't know what to do, but then they decided to take Lucia to the doctor to figure out what was wrong. Multiple doctors took a look at Lucia, but no one was able to figure out why she was itching her nose so much. But that was until one crazy doctor took a look, and what he found will leave you so speechless that you won't believe it. Make sure to follow.
Bone-chilling things caught on camera. This is a photo that was taken by a girl and her sister while at their cousin's wedding. Nothing seems to be strange or unordinary until you look closer. Between the heads of the two girls is the face of an old woman, but the sisters say that this isn't any old lady. They claim that the face of the photo bomber belongs to their grandma, but the thing is, their grandma passed away years before this photo was taken. Due to their grandma's deep religious beliefs, the sisters think that their grandma wanted to pay their cousin a visit on her wedding day to congratulate her. What do you guys think? Comment below.
This disabled girl would make noises every single time her brother came near her, and you will never believe why. Catherine was a 10-year-old girl who grew up with ALS. This caused her entire body to basically become paralyzed. And the only thing that she could really do was fidget. Both of her parents took really good care of her because of this. They would frequently check up on her, give her what she wanted, and always spend time with her. But you see, there was something very strange about this family. Kathleen's older brother would always cause something to happen. Whenever he got near her, she would start fidgeting like crazy. And sometimes it even looked like she was about to cry. For over years this would happen, and because of this, the brother and sister would be pretty distant. So one day the parents decided that they had had enough. They took both Kathleen and her brother to the hospital to figure out what was wrong. But once they went to the hospital, they immediately regretted doing so, because they themselves realized why this was happening. This disabled girl would make noises every single time that her older brother came near her, and you will never believe why. Part 2. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, make sure to watch the video before this. Kathleen would make noises every single time that her older brother came near her, and this resulted in them being very distant. Eventually, both of the parents got sick and tired of this and took both of the kids to the hospital. And just when they got there, they realized something so shocking that they were just gonna go back home. So they immediately turned the car around and went back. And when Kathleen's brother asked why they were turning around, his parents just said that they didn't know. And then they told him that they didn't need to go to the hospital for such a silly thing. Upon hearing this, Kathleen's brother got very suspicious on why they turned around from the hospital. And that's when he decided to do some digging on his own. So one day when his parents were asleep, he went into their room and he discovered something so crazy. He figured out that he was adopted. Anyways, I just found this really cool app that lets you erase anything from pictures. Click the link.